slowly let it out. Allow your body to relax. Allow your mind to soften. Allow your heart to open. In this quiet space, know that you are safe and loved and whole. Within the Unity faith, we honor the truth that God is in all people and that each soul carries a spark of the divine. We turn inward now and feel that spark within us, our own unique expression of God's love. I give thanks for the qualities that make me, me. Perhaps it's my kindness, my creativity, my compassion, my strength, my humor. I take a moment to think of these gifts and name them silently in my heart. Each is a ray of God's light, shining through us in the world. Unity teaches that we are one spirit, one love, one life. And yet, the beauty of our oneness is enriched by the diversity of our individual expressions. Like many colors in a single rainbow, my qualities blend with others to create something magnificent. I affirm I am a unique and irreplaceable part of God's creation. I celebrate my individuality while resting in the truth of our shared divine nature. With every breath, I release comparison. I release the need to be like anyone else. I rest in the joy of knowing that my authentic self is enough, more than enough, and it is holy. I see myself moving through life, offering my gifts freely, allowing God's light to shine through me in my own beautiful way, knowing that by being fully myself, I uplift the whole. I take a final deep breath, feeling gratitude for who I am and the unity that connects me with all life. And when I'm ready, I gently open my eyes, carrying this truth with me. Unity of the West Side, I'm so glad to, like I said, I'm so glad to be back home. I had such a good time. And before I go into my talk, I do need to show you. That's basically how I show up sometimes, okay? I saw that and I was like, that's my spirit animal. It's really the bear. It's really the black bear, but I'm telling you, that bird talked to me. So, went to Unity Village with our friend Jane Leonard and our president of the board. And there we are at the Groppert Center. And we were checking out our tile that is on the Groppert Center. And it's a bunch of birds, and all of these birds, all these tiles that you see are different churches and different people. And we were there for the Fillmore Festival. So the Fillmore Festival is a celebration of Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, who started Unity. And this year they really focused on Myrtle Fillmore. So you can see, oh, that lady in the middle, that's my friend Reverend Carla from Unity San Diego. So if you go down to San Diego, you can go give her a hug because she is so huggable. And then, so they have these beautiful wings. Jane was like, now do one right. And I was like, this is right. So you see beautiful Jane with her wings and me with my wings. And then, so there's the labyrinth. You can kind of see the labyrinth. Unity Village has the largest labyrinth in North America. I believe it's the whole of North America. And there was a full moon. And it was the 8-8 portal. So I don't know if you all are into astrology, and the 8-8 portal is when the heavens open and gifts are bestowed upon those on spiritual paths. And so there we were walking that labyrinth under that full moon. And then there we were at the airport coming back, and I thought it was a great picture. And if you're ever in Georgia, you want to see this lady in the front sitting across from me. Her name is Reverend Karen Romanstan. And I totally fell in love with her. She's so cool and so much fun. And so if you're ever in Georgia, you need to go to her church because she is very cool. And she just kind of melded with our group, so we kind of hung out the whole time. I do want to go to this next thing and see if I can get it to play. So you can see Jane up on stage. This is Tanisha, and Tanisha sits on the board with me at Unity Worldwide Headquarters. Oh, it had a little thing here before.
There it is. It's moving.
And I'm also looking forward to being a little time to talk with you at the end of our talk about how we define ministry. I want you to keep that in mind as we proceed today. I'm so grateful that so I did not get part of her. I did get 5 minutes of her speech, but that would not transfer onto this. So if any tech person wants to tell me how to get that 5-minute thing up there, this one was less than a minute. But you can kind of see her in her Myrtle gear, and she had her Myrtle voice. So she did a wonderful, wonderful job, and it was so good.
So she's being interviewed as Myrtle.
As Myrtle about her letters.
Wow.
And she did that several times during the weekend. And so it was Carla and I were more there to support her. And so it was a lot of fun. And I was so proud of Jane. She did a great job. So it got me thinking about our unique qualities. It got me really thinking about that. So I decided to do a talk today called God Working Through You as Uniquely You. So one of the most beautiful truths Myrtle Fillmore shared was this: God's life, love, wisdom, and power are flowing through you right now, through the one-of-a-kind person that you are. Boy, that stood the test of time, didn't it? And we come into this life born free. We all come into this life like little Edna. Penny just had a grandchild, so we're going to give some love to little Edna. But we all come into this life born free. And then our family domesticates us. Don Miguel Ruiz calls it, we're being domesticated. And we're really kind of domesticated for behavior, what to say, what not to say, how to say it. In my family, how to say it was big. So you're not here by accident. Your personality, your talents, your traits, even the little quirks that you might think are just you, are actually unique channels through which God expresses in this world. So I want to do a little exercise today, and each of you has a sheet of paper. And I want you to think of 3 people that you admire. So write their names at the top. 3 people who you admire. Go ahead.
Living.
That was the question I had.
It doesn't
He was
matter.
asking.
Living,
Okay.
past, it doesn't matter. What are the 3 people that you admire?
There it is.
Did you get one?
Yep, I got it.
And then once you have your 3 people, I want you to think about their traits and why do you admire them? So think about at least 3. I put 5 lines in there just in case, but 3 to 5 traits that each of those people have that you admire. This is going to take a little bit.
Mhm.
So you just go ahead because we're not going to move on until we do this. So think of 3 people and then think of the traits that you admire. Want me to turn on the air?
Yes, please.
Yes.
I'm gonna go get the keys and do that while you all do this. It is warm in here. Above your head. How are we doing? Did you get them all done? Raise your hand if you're done.
You said at least 3.
At least 3 to 5. It works better if you have 5 traits on them, but 3 is good. And then I want you to notice if there's any traits that those people have in common. Notice on your traits, are there any traits that they have in common? It could be kindness, it could be humor, it could be musicality. What's your question, Tim?
Right, I was gonna say, so the funny thing is when I wrote mine down, without looking at the bottom part, I realized I was kinda like, okay, well, they got that trait, so do they, so do they. So do they, so do they. Like
Okay.
it literally came out that way, pretty much. I kinda thought about it and I go, oh yeah, that's right.
Isn't that
He
interesting?
has that trait, they all had that trait.
Yeah.
They all ended up with that way.
Yeah. So I want you to write those traits down at the bottom. They have these things in common. So write those traits at the bottom. Whatever traits those are. Mine were kindness, humor, leadership, spiritual, and I had another one. I don't remember what it was. So, when you write those at the bottom, those are your core values. So read those traits in relationship to yourself. Aren't those the traits that you admire in yourself? Those are your core values. Those are what you really believe in. And you admire them in other people, and you emulate those things yourself. In Unity, we talk a lot about oneness, the truth that we're all expressions of the one presence and one power. But Myrtle understood that our oneness with God doesn't erase our individuality, it perfects it. Just as every flower in the garden draws life from the same sun and soil, each one still blooms in its own shape, its own color, its own fragrance. When Myrtle co-founded Unity, she often wrote letters to people seeking healing and seeking some guidance. She didn't give them a one-size-fits-all formula. Instead, she reminded them to go into the silence, listen to God's voice in their own heart, and to let Spirit show them how divine life could express uniquely through their mind, their body, their circumstances. I love how she once said, "You are a child of God, and therefore you didn't inherit sickness. You inherit God's own qualities, life, love, peace, power, and you are here to let them shine through you." Now that's a radical thought, even today. It means God doesn't want you to be a carbon copy of anyone else, not even the holiest saint that you can think of. God wants to live through you, your particular laugh, your way of solving problems, your compassion, your creativity. In Ephesians 2:10, we read, "For we are what God has made us, created in Jesus Christ for good works, which God prepared beforehand to be our way of life." Notice that it says, we are what God has made us, not what we're trying to pretend to be with our mask all up here. God's already placed within us the qualities needed to fulfill our purpose. Myrtle's teaching reminds me of the image of a stained glass window. Each piece is different, a different shape, a different color. If you tried to make them all the same, the window would lose its beauty. But when the sunlight shines through, when God's Spirit flows freely, those differences become radiant. So what does it mean practically to let God work through you in your own unique way? It starts with awareness. Each day we ask God, how do you want to shine through me today? Maybe you have a gift of listening. God can use that to bring peace to someone's troubled heart. Maybe you love to cook. God can use that to nourish bodies and souls alike. Maybe you have an organized mind. God can use that to bring order to a project that serves the community. Nothing is too small, too ordinary for God to use. Remember, Myrtle healed not by doing something dramatic, but by consistently affirming the truth, speaking lovingly into her body, blessing others with words of encouragement. So you may be thinking, but what if my unique qualities don't feel very special? Let me assure you, they are. Sometimes the very qualities we undervalue are the ones that Spirit can magnify the most. You might also wonder, what if I don't know what my unique gifts are? Go back to your paper and look at your gifts. But the answer is, start by noticing what brings you joy when you do it, what feels natural, what lights you up. That joy is a clue that God's energy is flowing through you. Friends, Myrtle Fillmore believed, and I believe, that God is continually seeking to express through you, through your smile, through your ideas, through your compassion, through your courage. So today, don't try to be anyone else. Be the full, authentic, spirit-filled you. Let God's love pour through your one-of-a-kind personality, and I know you all. Except for you, and I'm going to get to know you later. And except for you, we're going to get to know each other later. But all of you are unique expressions, lovely, magnificent expressions of God. Be yourself and watch how it blesses the world in ways that no one else can. There is freedom in being your authentic self. I'm going to leave you with Myrtle's own words. You are God's precious child, and God has work for you to do that no one else can do quite as well. Let your light shine so that others may see you. And that's my talk today. I know, you can clap, it's okay.